Hey everybody. I normally start this with welcome back, but I listen to Baron Coleman and he always does the welcome in, welcome in, welcome in because not everybody's coming back. So, if you're coming back, welcome back. If this is the first time you've ever seen my podcast, welcome. I always feel a little bit like a Letterkenny sketch when I'm filming episodes like this because it's coming from a comment section, so I feel a little bit like, so I was on Instagram the other day. To those of you who've never seen Letterkenny, you probably think I'm crazy. Those of you that have, you know I am. Anyway, as usual, I got into it with somebody in the comment section. Bless you all for interacting with me and saying crazy things that you don't understand because you give me lots of content to film. So, this poor girl the other day doesn't understand the history of anything she's involved with and called me a religious extremist, which is outright hilarious given what she's involved in that she doesn't even know she's involved in. So, welcome back to the Green Egg Girl podcast. I'm going to start with this. If you don't know that we're living in the day and age where everything is literally a spiritual war, you either need to stay out of it and remain ignorant or wake up. I would prefer everybody wake up and understand what's going on because you really do have to pick a side between good and evil. And understanding the history of what you're involved in is the number one key to that. The history of what you're involved with is not going to be taught to you at some university. You are going to have to search out alternate sourcing. It's not easy. It's not fun. Other people, though, have done the legwork and are going to make it easier. So, this girl on Instagram came at me, and of course she was arguing for feminism, and one of the main things everybody always is like, abortion rights. I'm not for child sacrifice, okay? We all know this. Anybody who's ever listened to this podcast, I talk about all the time, 100% I'm against it. Don't care. Your emotional arguments and like little, oh, but this 0.02% of people over here, don't care. No. Not for child sacrifice. And how I know that it's a satanic practice is the Satanic Temple is actually arguing that it's a religious right for them that Texas has taken away with the heartbeat bill. Please go look it up. It tells you everything you need to know about abortion right there. It's a satanic practice. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is. As is feminism in general, okay? I've talked about this before. I watched people that I know personally, and I've watched celebrities who get further and further into feminism, and to me, for some reason, I kept saying, I'm like, okay, there's something witchy about this. Like, the women get really obsessed with yoga. They get really obsessed with witchcraft, tarot cards, all this kind of hoodoo BS. And I'm, like I said, somebody who used to be my best friend now reads tarot cards for a living. I've watched, Taylor Swift openly talk about, doing witchcraft with her music and her concerts. I've watched Emma Watson talk about, like, witchy hoodoo stuff. And to me, it just registered as, okay, so for some reason, that's where feminism leads. I need to get away from this. And that's what I did. I got away from it, and I didn't understand why it was that way. Then I picked up this book. And by picked up, I read it on audiobook first, and then I actually ordered the hard copy because I wanted her sourcing. So this is Rachel Wilson's book, Occult Feminism, The Secret History of Women's Liberation. If you're a feminist, you need to read this book. Open your mind, read the book. If you are like toying with the idea of feminism, if you're not a feminist, everybody really needs to read this book just to understand the history of what feminism really is. Because it's not like, oh, women's rights and women's liberation. No, no, no. These people were misandrists. They were Satanists. They were occultists. These were dangerous people. These are disgusting, despicable people. So it explained everything I needed to understand about why I kept seeing like, oh, feminism for some reason leads to like New Age witchcraft. Yeah, because you've bought into a religious practice, whether you want to or not. So this girl was saying all of these things, and I automatically went to, oh yes, by all means, let's A, involve the government in everything, and B, yeah, okay, you always want to argue, well, I should have the right to murder another human being. No, I don't accept that, and I find that to be wrong. And she's like, all you've come at me with is religion. Actually, it's the history of what you believe in. You're just ignorant and don't know it. You need to go read some alternate sourcing, because what they're feeding you in universities is to get you to participate in their religious shit without knowing. And then, of course, she comes back with, well, I'm highly educated and you're clearly stupid and blah, 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 blah. I have a master's degree. And I just laughed. Like, okay, I'm actually a dual degree chemical engineer. So my degrees were harder. Thanks. Great. Don't care. Don't care. And she's like, well, I'm a psychologist. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Kind of spotted that from like 10 miles away. Also a practice rooted in Satanism, by the way. Sigmund Freud is the father of all current psychology. Funny story, Satanist. Okay? So that book is The Assault on Truth. I've read excerpts from it. I have not read the whole thing yet. It's on my list to order next. But it details out all of the stuff from the Sigmund Freud archive that they're not going to tell you while they teach you to participate in their satanic practices. The truth is, they don't want you to know what it is that you participate in. Because whether you believe in it or not, if you're believing in and participating in their satanic BS, you're part of the religion. Being ignorant to it doesn't make a difference. I know the history of what I believe in. Jesus was conceived of the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, came to earth, lived a perfect life, died, descended into hell, rose again, and ascended into heaven. He'll come back and judge everybody. Easy. And everything he taught on earth, everything I believe in, is all that's good and beautiful about the world. That's the history. Pretty simple. If you don't understand the history of what it is you're participating in, you can, like this girl, claim to be an atheist. Human beings were made to worship. Whether you understand that or not, it is the base programming of humanity. If you don't know what it is you're participating in, if you don't know the history of what you're participating in, i.e., feminism is occult practice, it's why you see how it progresses. You will know them by their fruits. What do feminists love? Child sacrifice. They love child sacrifice. It's abhorrent and disgusting. They love it. Why? Because they're Satanists. You can be ignorant to that. It doesn't make you any less culpable for participating. You need to understand the history of the things that you participate in so that you understand the religions you're in. My stepdad used to say everything is theological. And it is. Everything on this earth is a spiritual war right now. Always has been. It's just very apparent now. So start digging in to the history of what you believe in. You need to go in search of alternate views and actually go read things that the people involved wrote. Read their personal writings. I've done this with many of the founding fathers. I know what the founding fathers believed in. So when everybody says it was founded on Christian principles in this country, I kind of go, skeet. No, they liked religious morality for law. They liked Christian morality for law. They liked the fairness and the equality, but they weren't Christians. So, you need to understand what it is that you're participating in. You need to know, because I said in a previous podcast, you can walk the fence with feminism for a little while, but there's going to come a point where you're going to go lean further into it, and it's going to take you the New Age, yoga doing, witchcraft, satanic route. Or you're going to have to leave. That's the two options. You reach a fork in the road. You can kind of like toy with a line for a while. But the truth is, you really truly can't serve two masters. So this poor girl is sitting around believing that she doesn't believe in anything, that there is no God. But everything she participates in is satanic worship of some variety. It's all occultism. And she doesn't know. So, I highly recommend Rachel Wilson's book. We have different political ideologies and everything else, but her research in feminism is spot on. And she has an extensive list of references that you can go read the first-hand sourcing of everything that she pulled out. And she quotes things directly, and she's very concise, very easy to read. I highly recommend reading this book so that you understand why it is that the end result of everything with feminism is some new age, witchy bullshit. Everything in this life is good versus evil. You can attempt to live in the gray, but you have to pick a side. And picking a side out of ignorance is a very dangerous road to go down. You will be involved in things that you don't even understand, but it does suck you in. Flee from it. Understand what it is. And flee from it. Do not allow the government, the Satanists, the elites to get you to participate in their ritualistic BS simply because you're ignorant. It has gone on for decades. And it's time to wake up. And there's people who have done the hard work to search it out and put it in concise format for you and give you all of the references so that you can go and read them for yourself and make your own determination. You don't have to agree with her. She gave you every roadmap to go find more information. It's the same thing I do. So many people are like, you don't read. Okay. I choose not to be ignorant. I desperately want everybody else to choose not to be ignorant. I desperately want people to understand what you're participating in and question everything that your beliefs are held in. My mind has been changed on a whole myriad of things just because I was willing to hear people out, and I went, oh, I didn't understand that. And there were some things that I just saw and I was like, I'm going to stay away from that. I don't know why it ends like that, but it ends like that. And then I got the information. It's nice to understand why the fruits of certain things are what they are. It's why I look at psychology. I don't believe in it because I've never actually seen anybody get better from it, honestly. I've watched a lot of people go in, get medicated, play victim for the rest of their lives, complain all the time. Turns out, there's a good reason. Can't wait for that book to come in so that I can read it and really understand why it is the way it is. But I looked at it and I went, this isn't helping people. It's hurting people. Well, there's a reason for that. So take time, read some things, understand what it is that you're unknowingly and unwittingly participating in. At least make the decision from a truly informed stance. And you can't just trust what people feed to you. You need to go deeper. You need to read more. Understand what the founders of whatever movement it is, understand what they actually said in their own words. It'll take you where you need to go. But I hope you all have a fantastic day, a fantastic week ahead, and I will talk to you next time.